In this module, I again build on the concepts and methods on visualization of demographic data that are contained in Appendix 1 of Biodemography. Specifically, I present technical details and design best practices in typography. Typography refers to the style and appearance of printed matter. Typography matters because it helps conserve the most valuable resource you have as a writer or presenter: the reader or viewer attention. Attention is the reader's gift to you. That gift is precious. It is finite, and if you fail to be a respectful steward of that gift, it will be revoked. Once your reader revokes the gift of attention, you've achieved only the lowest form of writing. Your reader disappeared. So what was the point? This is a quote from Butterick's Typography for Lawyers. Arrangement of type includes typefaces such as Helvetica, Times Roman, and Arial, point sizes, line length, and line spacing. Details of typeface include the X height from the baseline, the capital height above the X height, the serif, which are the hooks and horns that extend from the letters, and the descenders. Example serif fonts include Times Roman, Georgia, and Garamond, and example sans serif fonts include Helvetica, Arial, and Calibri. Readability of lowercase and all caps. Lowercase lettering of words creates a topography from visual peaks and valleys that serve as visual aids in reading. In contrast, all caps are rectangular and thus uniformly flat. This makes them more difficult to read, especially in long sentences. Thus, the use of all caps is to be avoided except in messages, labels, or headings that consist of one or a few words. A rule of thumb is to use appropriate typeface for particular circumstances. For example, the artistic font used on the left for emergency exit is unnecessarily and in certain circumstances dangerously difficult to read. In contrast, on the right, the lettering for emergency exit is very clear. Save the use of the more artistic fonts for messages such as wine socials or club meetings. The larger carry-away message here is that different contexts may require different typefaces and typographical concepts and strategies. Bullet points. Use bullet points sparingly and never in headlines. Never use sub-bullet points, for example, bullets under bullets. Separate the bullet points with white space. For example, the wraparound on the left suggests there are 4 points, but 1 bullet is missing. In contrast, the white space between the bullet points visually groups the main points for each bullet on the right. Use bullet points when order does not matter, such as in ingredients for Drosophila diet. However, use numbers when order or sequence does matter, such as the sequence for cleaning fly bottles. Pick the appropriate letter case, including uppercase, are words in all caps, title case, which is the first letter capitalized in proper nouns and verbs, sentence case, where the first word in the sentence is capitalized, and lowercase where no letters are capitalized. Use only one font style at a time. We have normal as a baseline, then italic and bold. Underlining is not recommended since professional typographers view underlining as a throwback to earlier times when typewriters were used and underlining words indicated to typesetters that they were to italicize these words. In addition, unlike italics and bold, there are no special font styles for underline. Another iron rule of typography is to never combine different types of emphases, such as underline plus italics, italics plus bold, or all three. These combinations weaken rather than strengthen emphasis. Do not center align whole paragraphs. Left aligned text has a straight edge, and therefore readers can easily return to the same location on a page. In contrast with center aligned text, leaves a ragged edge, and therefore each line starts at a different location, making the prose more difficult and less comfortable to read. The ideal line length is from 45 to 90 characters. For example, in the document on the left, it's in 12-point font, double-spaced with 1-inch margins. Whereas in the document on the right, it is 11-point font, 15-point exact space, and 2-inch margins. Both have exactly the same word count. However, the document on the right is much easier to read because of the shorter line lengths. Use horizontally labeled callouts. Those shown here are callout connectors that are not aesthetic because they are angled. In contrast, these callout connectors are much cleaner and much more aesthetic because they are uniformly horizontal. This ends this short module on typography.